Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Saturday, the 13th of April, 2024. A day that did not turn out like I originally had thought it would, but at the same time, still turned into a pretty darn good streaming day. So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, on today's Level 1 podcast, we had a wide variety of topics, notably talking about the yellow card that I received in Street Fighter 6 last night, and my suggestions for improvement of that system. I thought that it was pretty silly that ever happened. Plus, talked a little bit about a big news article about a game studio that shut down because someone was writing an article about them at Kotaku. Kind of a weird story. And also, I gave my initial reaction and impressions to the fact that June the King has announced he's making that documentary about me in this fall. It's probably going to release. It'll be 4 hours long. I talked in depth about what I thought about that, as well as some of the experiences that I had over the last few months speaking with him about certain topics in that documentary, and also the fact of how I'm going to be covering to or planning to react to it. So all those topics discussed on today's podcast, give it a look. Then we got back to Elden Ring. And today was the day of technical difficulties. First of all, somehow the volume enhancer on my mic disabled. So I started playing Elden Ring, and people were like, after like 20 minutes, they're like, dude, you're really low. We can barely hear you. And I'm like, what? And I looked, yeah, the volume booster that I've been using for my mic for a couple months now disappeared, wasn't on there. So I fixed it, and then the stream sounded way better. Then I'm in the midst of starting a boss fight, and my PS5 has a double pop-up message saying, your PS5 controller has a very low charge. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's plugged in. How could it have low charge? So it leads me to believe, my USB cable must be busting, right? Must be broken, which is stupid because I just bought it in December. It means that the cables I bought are pretty inferior quality. In addition to that, I'm getting this constant right thumbstick drift up. So I'm running, all of a sudden, my character starts looking at the ceiling. And it kept happening over and over. I was like, this is not good. This is serious issues now, all going on at once. So, as I was playing as I was playing Elden Ring, right there, I did a poll. People voted for the color of PS5 controller that I would order for a quick replacement. And we had a lot of progress today. We basically stayed in the frozen area, and we finished the Castle Sol dungeon. Pretty interesting conclusion to that with that final boss fight of Castle Sol. If you want to watch it, it was actually quite funny how it all ended. Then we headed back to the Lift of Rold, and we went to the Hailing Tree side of the frozen area, and we started clearing it out. I mean, there's so much to do there. There's tons of little hidden mini bosses and fights. There's hidden dungeons. There's all kinds of stuff. And I did a lot. I did like 2 mini dungeons. I fought the giant great worm. That's the last one in the game. And I fought it really cool way with a unique magic that really was fun to do. I hope you'll watch that because that was a really cool fight. We ended up going into the cave, the hidden cave where you have the true Astel. The real one, not the fake one that you fight earlier on to get to the Magic Peninsula with Ronnie's quest line, but actually the true one that's much tougher. Fought that. And basically made a lot of progress. Now, did we clear out the whole area yet? Absolutely not. We still have a lot to do left in that area. I did get to the underground blood area. And basically I kind of turboed through it to get the map and to get to the second point of grace down there. So if I want, I could continue on and try to get to Moog, or we can head back to that big lake of blood and do the stuff there, because there's a lot of items and fights and things to do there as well. So we'll probably do that too. So all that's unlocked. So now what's left in Elden Ring? I mean, a lot still. I mean, we still got to conclude the Mountaintop of the Giants, which itself is another kind of dungeon heading up to this giant giant boss, and then, enkindling the giant gauntlet thing that's full of flame and burns the Erd Tree. Then you can go to Farum Azula, which is its own big dungeon and unique bosses and things that takes a while to get through. We still have to do the blood area. We have to explore and do the whole thing. We actually have to get to the Hailing Tree and then decide if I want to do the Hailing Tree in this run before the DLC comes out, or do we want to not do it? Maybe we want to do everything else and then just stop and not do Hailing Tree. I'm down for whatever. People seem to be really enjoying the run, so maybe we should just continue it. I'm not sure. Anyway, excuse me. Really good first stream. And despite the technical issues, went pretty well. But, Monkey Wrench. We did not do our co-op stream tonight of Beyond Two Souls. Originally, we were planning to do it, but basically it didn't happen. It is going to happen next weekend, same time, same place. If you want a full explanation of what happened, watch what I did do tonight, which was an impromptu 2-hour hangout session with the audience. We just did a late night hangout session, much like I did one in February and in March when things kind of didn't work with the schedule and we just needed something to do. It worked well. The attendance was good. We had a good discussion. The first thing we talked about was why I didn't do the co-op tonight. So if you want your answers, check out part 1 of that hangout session from tonight, and you'll get your answers. I really don't want to go into massive detail about it now, only because it's not a big deal, and we are going to be doing it next weekend, okay? So, tons of different topics were discussed in this impromptu hangout session. I can't really cover them all here because there's so many. I definitely recommend you give it a watch. But in addition, my new PS5 controller, as well as a new USB cable to replace the one that had busted, showed up and got delivered while I was streaming. So it is actually galactic purple, which is a bluish purple. On camera, it looks pure blue. It's not. It's actually bluish purple, but for some reason, the camera picks it up. Just like the lights. These lights are actually almost amber in hue, but on camera, they pick up as red. Don't know why, but that's just what it looks like, okay? So anyway, new controller showed up, new cable. I unboxed it live, so there's actually a live unboxing of that in the first part, which I hope you'll check out. And it was a really good session of just hanging out and talking and chilling. And no surprise, once again, great engagement, great support. People loved it. People love these chill hangout sessions, and I'm happy for that. So, went really well, all right? Now, tomorrow, it is React Day. On Sunday, 2 React shows. First, we're going to have a podcast here on the channel in the morning. Then we all skedaddle over to DSP Reacts for the DSP versus the Internet Clips show. Episode 60 tomorrow. Yeah, we've been doing this quite a while. Usually a good variety of stuff. I'm literally going to make the playlist for that show as soon as I finish recording this and get uploading. So I'll get to work on that, and it should be a good one. Tomorrow night's late stream is over on DSP Throwback, my other sister channel, and that is going to be the Retro React continuing of the Walking Dead Telltale series. Telltale series, tongue twister. We're still doing season 1, but we're doing episode 2 tomorrow. However, episode 2 has quite a lot of parts. I believe it's something like 15 parts, and typically we get 2 parts done in half an hour. So if you do the math there, we could probably get through like 10 parts, and then we have to call it quits, and then we'll resume with episode 2 next week. It's just a really long episode, okay? So that'll be fun. Last week we had a good time, relaxing, chilling, and enjoying the classics. I can't wait to do that again for you tomorrow. It should be a good time, all right? Now, also remember, the content continues on DSP Throwback when it comes to the ongoing playthroughs. We still have alternating parts of Fallout 3 and Final Fantasy 13. The new part of Fallout 3 came out yesterday, and honestly, didn't get that many views. I was like, wow, I thought it had caught on because part 1 actually got tons of views. I think what it is everyone checks out part 1 and they're like, nah, I'll check out the rest when I feel like it. But it's all good. I hope you'll continue to follow because now Red Dead's been over for a week. It is now continuing Fallout 3, and that's super upgraded, by the way. The visuals, everything, the frame rate, it looks so much better than the original videos. I'm blown away by I can't believe it's the same playthrough, and it really is. So I hope you give it a look, and that continues with Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 probably 1 more month to finish. I think it's something like 40 more videos, but you divide by 3, so it's probably like actually 10 to 13 more videos. If you alternate, that's about a month, you see? So, all right, everyone. Today was a great streaming day, despite the fact that we had technical difficulties on the first stream, and then the late stream wasn't what I was expecting. Still a fun one. Still had a great time. Thank you all for hanging out with me and supporting my content. I'll see you all tomorrow for React Day. Please have a good evening, and I'll see you in the AM for the podcast. Good night.